Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another pen video, and this is my end of year 2022 video. So Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I was debating on what type of video I should do, and I was thinking about maybe my top 10 pens or top 20 or top 30 pens. But it is very difficult to come up with what are your top 10 pens in any collection. So I decided I would actually do a little bit of a name and shame. Yes, I'm going to name myself and shame myself. And I'm actually going to walk through how many pens I acquired and added to my collection this year. Now, you can see the first 10 pens here. Now, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I did actually acquire 31 fountain pens this year. Now, to me, that is a lot of pens, and I have to think that's almost a pen a week, 52 weeks in the year. It's not that far off. So it is a lot of pens. However, I'm going to show you this little bit of a graphic here. So I started collecting in 2016, and it was around the summer of 2016. So I went through, like most of us, an exploratory phase where I bought a load of pens. So in 2016, I bought 28 pens. In 2017, I bought a shocking 72 pens. And in 2018, 55 pens. And then it started to sort of taper off a lot more. So 2019, which is obviously towards the end of 2019, was when the pandemic started. But I only acquired 30 pens and added to my collection. 2020, which was through the pandemic, there was 31 pens. And then last year, 2021, there was 20. So I actually started feeling a little bit better about myself. But this year, it's on the increase again. And yes, we're back to 31 pens. So you can see a little bit of a trend. 2019, 20 were around about 30, 31 pens. 2022 was 31. 2021 was 20. So I think with that, let's just walk through what pens I added to my collection, because not everybody has seen the pens I have added, and although some of the pens have been on maybe currently inked videos, or maybe I've done a pen review of them, some I may not have or may not have yet, but reviews will be coming. I think let's start walking through these pens. So the first pen here was the Noto, and this is the Magna Classic in Chased Jade or Chased Green, depending on which website that you look at it on. I have always lusted after an Noto, more so with the chasing here. I've actually looked at some of the reds and orange versions, and I really do like them. But this green one came up, and this was at Izod's, and I just had to pick it up. A review is coming shortly. It does have a number 7 size Noto nib, and it is an 18 karat gold nib there, and it is a cartridge converter, but this is actually quite a lovely pen. I do like writing with it. The only thing I had, and this will come out in the review as well, is that it was second hand, and up until now, I've bought a lot of second-hand pens, and I've not had any issues with them. There wasn't anything at fault with this pen, and there was certainly no fault of a Noto. But the previous owner had actually had the nib ground to a crisp metallic, and I really do not like crisp metallics. And it wasn't on the Noto listing, so I bought it thinking it was a medium nib, and it was a crisp metallic medium. So it was actually so crisp, so sharp, it was cutting the edges of the paper. I fixed the nib. I'm getting very good at tuning my own nibs nowadays. I tune that nib and it actually writes quite nicely. But it did remind me though that when you're buying a pen, not only new, and you can have a nib that will turn out not to your liking on a new pen, but you can also have it on a second-hand pen. But more so on a second-hand pen, somebody could have messed with that nib or could have ground that nib into something you don't like, and it's made me a little bit more wary on buying second-hand pens now. Not as much as I thought it would, but you just have to bear that in mind. So that pen I added in January this year. In January as well, I bought the Esterbrook SD, and this is the sparkle in the oversized diamond cast blue. And this is a really beautiful pen. I am a fan of diamond cast, and you can just see that there. The material really does sparkle. So I picked this up in January as well. I went through a little bit of a kick on the Esterbrookes. I say a little bit of a kick. I actually started to like these. They are actually a really nice size for my hand. They are well balanced. I do find them comfortable. They do have Yovo steel nibs. They're not gold nibs. They're gold plated. It's a cartridge converter. But you know what? I really do like them. Now, some of the Esterbrook SDs I picked up for a really good price. I think the earlier ones, like the Sparkle Red, the Sparkle in this blue Tanzanite, are very more affordable, should I say, than some of the newer ones like the Rocky Top Mountain limited editions. So I purchased that one in January this year, and then Sean at the London Pen Company said, "Hey, look, I have a couple of pens I want to send you for review, and I have those here, and I've added these to my collection as well." So this is the London Pen Company Christopher 14 faceted, made out of the Conway Stewart Honey Noir. Really beautiful. I've done a review of this and I really do like it. I love the facets on the cap. There's no facets on the body, but there are on the cap. Comes with a Bock steel nib there. Cartridge converter pen. You can post the cap if you want to. I do like all of the work that Sean is doing at the London Pen Company. So he sent that in for a review in February this year, and so I have that one here as well. Along with, at the same time, the London Pen Company Christopher 14 in the BBC Twisted Cherry Blossom. And again, I really do like this material. Very lovely material. I think I've been inking this up this year with Diamine Amaranth, which is a very nice sort of dark pink. But again, I do like the workmanship that Sean puts into these pens. They are really nice. So I do have a review of this up as well. Comes with a Bock steel nib. It's a cartridge converter pen. So that one came in for review and added to my collection in February this year. And then one pen that I've always wanted is a Ryan Prusak pen. And I have a number of friends that have Ryan Prusak pens, and I have really wanted one. I'm not that much into wood pens, but I did see this pen here, and this really did speak to me. So I reached out to Ryan Prusak in the US and said, "Hey, look, is there any chance that I can order one of these pens?" He was making a batch for a pen show at the time, and he said, "Sure, I'll add another one to that so that you can have one as well." So this essentially was, again, February. This came a little bit later than my birthday, but this was my birthday pen, and you can see there This is a beautiful, beautiful sort of scrimshaw laser etch there on the body. I think Ryan, again, like Sean at the London Pen Company, does some really good work. It's a Yovo nib there, and it's got RK on the nib for Ryan Crusack. It's a cartridge converter pen. You can't really... You could post the cap. It's not going to post deeply. It's not meant to post. I do like this pen though. Now the cap is made of wood, and the body here is made of antler. Now it's not lacquered in any way, so you do have to be a little bit more careful on getting it dirty. It is going to show up the dirt a little bit more. It's going to certainly sort of show your natural hand oils as well. So you do have to bear that in mind. And then the next pen here I bought, this was at the London Pen Show in March this year. And this is a Danny Trio, and it is the Chinkin Cage Momata fountain pen on Takumi. Now this is a Chinkin Makie pen, beautiful pen, really do like it a lot. I'm so glad I was able to pick this up. I picked this up actually from John Twist at the Twist Pens table, and you can see there it's inked up. It's got a bit of ink there on the nib, but I do like it. It is a lovely pen. So I bought that at the London Pen Show, and I also at the same time bought this one from John at St John's Pens. I saw it on his table when I was helping him set his table up. I absolutely loved it. So this is a Danny Trio, and this is the Makie Ancient Dragon with Flowers by Kagaku on Hayatan. Beautiful, beautiful Danny Trio. So the model shape is a Hayatan, and then it is a Makie Ancient Dragon with Flowers. So you can see the flowers here on the body. Beautiful. I do have a review up of both of these Danny Trio pens. So if you want to look at these, then go check out those reviews. Likewise, if you want to look at a writing sample, I'm not going to do a writing sample here today on all of these videos because I've done them for most of these pens. So if you want to see that, do go and check out the full review of the pens. I then picked up in March this Benu Euphoria Bourbon, and this was, I think, towards the end of March. I really have lusted after the Benu Euphoria vodka on the rocks. I am partial to a bit of vodka. Likewise, I am partial to a bit of whiskey. Not so much bourbon, but I have drank bourbon in the past. But I couldn't get the vodka on the rocks, and I saw Derek had one of these, so I decided I would buy it. It is a beautiful pen. This is Derek at Stonecrop Fine Writing Supplies. It comes with a number 6 size nib. I got this in a fine nib. I did wonder, should I get it in a medium or broad, but I got it in a fine. It's a cartridge converter as well. Actually, so far, all of these are cartridge converter pens. So that was a pen that I acquired or purchased in March this year. Also, at the London Pen Show, I had Ben Walsh at Gravitas reach out to me saying he wanted me to do a review of a couple of pens. What pens would I like to review? I, of course, said the Skittles. I like the larger version of pens, so this is the Century. Very glad that I could get one, because soon after that he had actually sold out, and he's not been able to, or hasn't made any more of these since in the Century, I believe. The work, the anodization on this is beautiful. Like the actual color vibrancy that you have there, the plating is beautiful. Comes with a steel Yovo nib. This has got a 1. Just having a look, 1.1 stub nib on here. It is a cartridge converter, and it will post deeply as well. I do have a review of this one, so do check out the review if you want to have a look at that. And then the next one was, he said that he would send me the Century in raw brass, and this is a heavy pen. It is patinaing, which Jose did say to me that it would when I met him at the London Pen Show. And I have to say, it doesn't bother me that much. I probably will polish it up, though. I don't mind brass patinaing too much. Silver, I typically do prefer to polish. This came with I think it's a broad nib there. Again, cartridge converter. You can post the cap deeply, and it almost like turns into a pocket pen, really. There. Again, a very interesting pen from Gravitas, Ben Walsh, and I have to say that again, I do like those pens, so I will have to see what other pens he comes up with in the future. So that's the first 10 pens that I purchased or acquired in 2022. I think let's now take a look at the next 10 pens. So here are the next 10 pens. So the first pen here is a pocket pen, and this is a pen that I also got at the London Pen Show in March this year, and this was from Den at Den's Pens. Den actually wanted to give me a pen, really to say thanks for all of the support that I've given him, reviewing his pens, getting them out there to help him sell the pens. So we met up at the London Pen Show the night before, and he suggested I could pick one of the Fafnir pens. So there were some beautiful materials. All of the materials he made himself. But there was this one, and I just loved the colour on this one. I have a review of this as well. So it is a pocket pen. So you basically screw the cap into the base or the back of the pen there, and it actually becomes a much longer pen. I have to say, I do like the design. I'm not really into pocket pens because I find a lot of pocket pens typically are too small, even when you post them. But this one is not only very small, but it posts really well and makes the pen quite long. So I am loving that, and I still write with that on a regular basis. The next pen, as I said, I have been on a bit of a kick for Esterbrook lately in terms of buying those. So I did buy this one, the Esterbrook SD. This is the oversized Gold Rush Prospector. Again, it's got this diamond cast material. I really do like diamond cast material. And I do like the size, the weight, the balance of these Esterbrook SDs. So I decided to buy this one. Now, these are pretty much sold out most places. This one does have a fine steel Yovo Esterbrook nib. And I found a seller in the US on eBay that was selling one, and I decided that I would take the risk. He only showed stock photos, didn't show the photos of this pen. You can't post the cap on these Esterbrook's really. But I have to say, I'm glad I did. I probably wouldn't have gone with a fine nib, though, to be honest. I probably would have gone with a medium, maybe even a broad. But I decided, you know what, I would get that anyway. I can always swap that nib out. It's a Yovo nib. I could always buy an Esterbrook steel nib, or just swap it out for one of the Yovo nibs I already have on another pen. So that one I did buy, and that was in April this year. And then there was a little bit of a gap. Not a huge gap, but a little bit of a gap. I then decided, I saw this I have a Visconti Medici already in the brown. I actually had two. I sold one. And this is the golden black oversize. And I saw the color on this and I just thought, wow, I do need to buy this one and add it to my collection. So I did exactly that. This was at Roy at Izod's as well. Like with the chased green or jade Noto. And I just decided I had to buy it. It is a Visconti, it's a Paravac, it's a single reservoir. You've got an 18 karat gold nib on there, and I got that in a medium. It writes very, very nicely. You can post the caps if you want to. I do like this material though. It is quite stunning there. So it's got a hook safe lock mechanism on it. So I bought that one in May, but at the same time I also bought from Roy at Izod's again this Visconti Homo Sapiens, and this is a demo stones in sea blue sapphire. And I have a number of these Visconti Homo Sapien demonstrator pens. I've got one in the green, I've got one in the red, which is the Caput Mundi. I kind of like the blue and the purple. He had this one on sale. It was in somebody else's collection, never used. So I decided I would snap this one up at the same time. So I actually got both of these for a good price from Roy. It is a Demo Stones version. I do like the Homo Sapiens. It's a Paravac, it's a double reservoir. It's got a 14 karat gold nib there from Visconti. It is inked up at the moment. You can post the cap, but it doesn't post that deeply or securely. And I do like that pen a lot. So I decided to add that one to my collection. And then again, on that Esterbrook kick, I decided I would get this one when it came out. And this was the Esterbrook SD, and it's the oversize in the Cosmic Wine. Again, it's another diamond cast material. Beautiful material there. Quite sparkly, but not as sort of over the top as maybe some pens can be. Like maybe some of the sparkles in some of the Benus can be a little bit over the top. Again, though, I purchased this one from Colt Pens, I believe, and this one I got a fine nib on it as well. I actually enjoyed the fine nib on the Prospector, so I decided I would get that. You can post the cap a little bit, but it won't post deeply or securely. But I decided I would get that pen, and I added that to my collection. Now, I think about 3 or 4 weeks went past, and then I decided I would. I saw on Izod's, on Roy's site, he had a bunch of Montegrappas, and I like the extra 1930s. I have one of those, but not many. But I've also always wanted the Otto, and I was able to pick up this one. So this is the Montegrappa Extra Otto in the Pearl Grey. It was a Korean exclusive, limited edition. And you can probably see there, if I get it up the right way, it is 18 of 20 there. So quite a limited edition run. It's got a silver section. It is a piston, number 8 size nib, and I really do like the number 8 size nibs. Montegrappa do recess them quite a lot. I do like that Otto cap band there, very nice, and I do like this pearl grey as well. It really does shine. So I picked that one up, and I can't remember exactly in which order, but I picked up 3 more of these. So the next one here is the Vertical Zebra, and this is a beautiful Montegrappa. It's an extra 1930. It is a piston filling pen, silver section, number 8 size nib there. It is inked up, so you can see that there, a little bit of ink on the section. But again, this material is quite stunning. I have wanted more Montegrappas, so I decided I would add that to my collection. So I got 2 of these at the same time, and then I got 2 more, and I got this one, which again is another Montegrappa Extra 1930, but this is in the striped zebra celluloid. So these are all celluloids, these Montegrappas. So that's what really appealed to me, that they are celluloid, and also that most of these are Extra 1930s, and I do like the size of the Extra 1930. But you can see there that striped zebra really, really looks lovely. Also, it does have a silver section there and a number 8 size nib. It is a piston filling pen. You can post the cap, but it's not really, I would say, designed to do so. It's not going to post deeply or securely. And then the last Montegrappa there that I purchased was this one. And this is a slight difference. So this is the Montegrappa Extra 1930 Dove of Peace. This is a Korean version, black and white. Again, celluloid material. Again, it looks really nice. It is a 1930, but it's not a piston filling pen. It also has a celluloid section, and it has a number 6 size nib. So this one is a cartridge converter. So a little bit different to the other 3 Montegrappas there. That cap will post a little bit more securely, so that is good. I do like that. And then in July, I saw that Roy, again at Izod's, had a beautiful Enoto Rosetta Stone. And I always vowed that I wouldn't get one because, A, because of the price, and B, because I'd already bought last year, in October 2021, the Magna Carta. But he had this one and it was going for a really good price. And I messaged Roy and said, look, what would you be willing to take for this? And he came back with a price and I was absolutely amazed. This is a beautiful work of art. So this is the Enoto Rosetta Stone, and it has all of the sort of hieroglyphs there that you will see on the Rosetta Stone in the various languages. Enoto did a beautiful job here, and you have a silver section. This is a heavy pen. It's around 93, 95 grams in weight. A number 7 size, 18 karat gold fine nib. Like a lot of the Enotos, it is a cartridge converter. You can get a piston or plunger filler on some of the Enotos, but not all of them. But this was second hand. This was originally purchased by somebody in Hong Kong, and I decided, he had sold it to Roy at Izod's, and I decided to then buy that from Roy. Beautiful pen, and I'm really glad that I added that to my collection. So I think let's now go and look at the final 11 pens. So here are the next 10 pens, and this still takes me to July this year. I was on the hunt. I don't know why. I had that itch. I wanted a new pen, and I saw this pen at a website called Dylan Stevens, and he has a lot of secondhand Mont Blancs, a little bit like Roy Izod, but he also has a lot of Yarda leads, and I've always wanted a Yarda lead in the Grand Viceroy, more so in this Victorian. So when I saw that there, he had it for about half the retail price that they're currently selling for. So I decided I would pick this one up. It has an 18 karat gold nib. It's got a fine nib there. It is a cartridge converter. It didn't come with a cartridge converter. It came with a ink cartridge, which had already was left in there. Ink had been dried up, hadn't been cleaned out properly, but I was able to flush it out. I think it took me about 20 attempts. So it was a used pen. I think it was literally was bought as seen. Dylan Stevens didn't clean the pen out in any way. And then also at the same time, I decided that it would look a little bit strange just having one in my collection. I saw that Dylan Stevens also had this one, and this is again the Yardeled, and this is the Grand Viceroy, but this is in the barley or barley corn. So this is quite a nice hammered touch. Now I know with the Victorian, it takes about 3,500 hammer with a chisel to make all of that pattern. I'm not so sure about the barley. I've not read anything on that. It is a push-to-click cap as well. And again, it's got an 18-karat gold nib. This one did actually come with the box and come with the converter as well. But again, it did have an ink cartridge in that had not been cleaned out as well. So you do have to be a little bit careful when you go to buy from certain sellers. That some sellers may not take the extra care and attention on some of the used pens in terms of like cleaning them out from the previous owner. So that was in July. And in August, strangely enough, I was writing a letter to a pen pal, a friend, and I said how much I like the Benu Euphoria Bourbon, but I really wish I could get the vodka on the rocks, but Derek at Stonecott didn't have any. And lo and behold, I went to his website, and what did I see there? A vodka on the rocks. So I decided, right, I am going to buy that very, very quickly and add that to the collection, because again, I do like this beautiful colour. You do see the pen actually through that. It's very translucent, but I do like a bit of sparkle, and I have to say I think this really looks nice. And I do like writing with my Benu Euphoria Bourbon. So this one I think also has a fine nib like my Bourbon does. Derek did say to me that I can have the pick of nibs. He had fine, medium, broad, and I said, hey, look, I'm happy with the fine. That's what I had with the Bourbon. Again, it is a cartridge converter. You can post that cap, but I just like the look of this pen. So a lot of people say to me, oh, you only have, or Penultimate Dave only has expensive pens. That's not true. I do have some cheaper pens. Maybe not, actually, I was going to say maybe not like £10 or £20 pens. I do actually. I was just thinking about it. I do have some Gin House. So yes, I do. I do have some Twisbys as well. So that was a pen that I bought in August this year. And then I went to the London Pen Show, and prior to the London Pen Show, a couple of weeks prior, I saw, again, Roy at Izod, strangely enough. There's a bit of a theme going on here. Actually list up a pen for sale, which was the Onoto British Museum Great Court. And I went to the London Pen Show. I didn't want to buy it because I thought I'm going to see probably some Danny Trios at the London Pen Show, and I'm going to really want those. So I decided I would leave it, and I went to the London Pen Show. I didn't buy a single pen. It's not the first pen show that I've not bought a pen, and it probably won't be the last, but nothing really spoke to me. So Roy was at the show, and I mentioned to him at the end, I said, I could be interested depending on the price. He came back to me the next day and offered me a price to buy the pen, and I agreed, and then about 3 days later it arrived in my hands, and I'm so glad that I do have this pen here. There will be a review shortly, if not already, of this pen. Beautiful, stunning pen. Again, it's a silver, solid silver pen, around 95 grams in weight. It's got this beautiful blue enamel on it. It is a great pen, and Noto have done a really good pen here. It's got a number 7 size Noto, 18 karat gold, fine nib there. It is a cartridge converter as well. I just love this pen, but you have to be able to handle heavy pens, because that is a heavy pen. And then Shortly after that, I was just looking on eBay. A friend, Tony, yes, you know who you are, started to get me looking on eBay again, which is a dangerous thing, or looking at any pen websites. And I saw this one offered up for sale secondhand, and I always vowed I wouldn't get this because it is a Thatcher My Abbey Empress Winter's Breath, and I already had bought, I think it was February 21, the Thatcher My Abbey Winter's Breath, and this was a lot more than I wanted to pay, and it wasn't available at the time. It only became available about 6 months after I bought mine, and so I wasn't going to buy this one, but this was being sold for what I felt was a very good price, and I decided I would add it to my collection. So now I do have the Thatcher My Abbey Winter's Breath and the Empress Winter's Breath. So the difference is you'll see here that this has a ruthenium plated clip and also eggshells on it, and these eggshells are crushed quail's eggs. It has a much thicker section, has a King of Pen size number 8 nib, made by Sailor for Thatcher. It is still a cartridge converter pen. It is thicker though, a more girthier pen than the Winter's Breath. But I do like it, so I decided to buy that one and add it to my collection. Now, the next pen, which was also in October, that was actually released for fall or autumn, was this pen, and this was an Estabrook, and this is the Camden Oktoberfest. Now, I have to say, I do like the colours on this pen. It's very autumnal. I do kind of wish it was in an Estabrook SE oversized pen, but I still like this pen a lot. It is a lot thinner than maybe what I would be used to, but I do like the colours. So I decided I would buy this one. Bought this one from Colt Pens. It's got an Estabrook nib there, and if I look at that there, it's a medium nib that I got on this one. You can post the cap. You do have to be careful with these because they are spring-loaded, so you have to be careful that it might shoot off a little bit. But this is a very nice autumnal colour, and I do like that. So I decided that I would just have to add that one to my collection, so I bought that one from Colt Pens. And then November time came around, and I've not bought many pens from Chris at Truffet recently, and there's no real reason other than Chris just hasn't had a lot of Viscontis that I like. I used to buy a lot of Viscontis from Chris, and likewise, my taste in pens have changed as well. But I did see one morning that he had second-hand again, used, this Thatcher My Abbey, and this is the Earth. And I decided, I like Akatamanuri. It is a Urushi Akatamanuri colour, and I decided I would just have to add that one to my collection. So 3 of 100 there. You can see the artist's signature. Beautiful pen. I like it a lot. It does have the number 6 size nib, not the number 8 size nib there. But I have to say, though, that I am liking that. So I decided I would add that one to my collection because I do like Urushi. And then also in November, that certain person by the name of Tony got me into eBay again, and he buys quite a few pens from Regina Martini, who, if you don't know, Regina Martini has written a lot of pen books and also Pelican pen books, and she's in Germany. She does a lot of auctions, and she was listing 2 pens, not ending on the same day, but 2 days apart. So one was the Visconti Opera Master Antarctica, and I really liked this pen. So this is 888 edition, and it's number 37. So I decided to add this one to my collection. I won it for a very, very good price. It's a power vac. It's a double reservoir. You've got the hook safe lock mechanism. You've got a silver section, and you've got a number 6 size nib, 18 karat gold. It's a medium nib. You can post a cap if you want to, but it makes it very long. Very glad that I was able to add this to my collection. Beautiful, beautiful material there. So I was glad that I was able to win that one. And then 2 days later, I actually won this one. And this is the Visconti Opera Master Savannah. And again, this was from Regina Martini. So martini.de on eBay. Now, I did pay a little bit more than the Antarctica, but not a lot more. Still a very good price. Somebody did actually try to outbid me, so it boosted the price a little bit towards the end of the auction. But this is a beautiful material, and I decided before I even won it that if I won it, I was going to ink it up with Lamy Mango, and Lamy Mango is in there, and it's a beautiful combination. So again, it's a power vac. It is a double reservoir, although you can't really see the ink there. Silver section, and again a number 6 size newer Visconti in-house nib, and that one is a broad. I didn't get the choice on either of these nibs, but I do like the fine nib in here, how it writes. I do like the broad in here, so I'm actually glad that I got those nibs in that configuration of pens. Now, towards the end of November, there was a pen that I saw released. I actually saw it at the London Pen Show in October, and it was this one, and it's the Anoto, and it is the Longitude, and you can see that there. I haven't done a review yet of this pen. I will be doing a review very soon. Beautiful pen, and it's all based around the ship. I think it's the Consternation, I think. I will let me just go and double check that actually, because it's going to bug me now if I the Association, not Constitution, the Association. So this is actually using some of the metal that has been recovered from the shipwreck. Really nice looking pen, and I saw this at the London Pen Show. It is a cartridge converter pen, so you can see there. I haven't inked it up, and I've had it nearly 2 months. I know it sounds terrible, but I want to do a review first. So this has a number 7 size Anoto. I got this a medium nib on here, 18 karat gold nib. The cap itself is very, very weighty. It will post quite deeply and securely, but it is back weighted because of the amount of metal there on that cap. But I do like it. It's an interesting pen, and I have been on a bit of an Anoto kick as well, more recently in the last couple of years. So I decided to add that pen to my collection as well. So I bought that one from Anoto Direct. And then there's one more pen. So there's 31 pens. This pen tray holds 10, so we've done 10, 20, 30. One more pen, and again, I haven't done a review of this one yet. Very special pen. It is the Parker Duofold Craft of Traveling 130th anniversary. Now, it has a lapis lazuli stone there. Beautiful engraved gold cap, or gold plated cap. And you can see there it says France, and then Parker, and then you have this lovely blue. Again, you've actually got George Parker's signature there as well on the body there. But you have a map of the world. I do like the Parker Duofolds. I've got a few of them, and this also has a very special sort of craft of traveling 130th anniversary inscription on the nib there as well. Now, I won this in a auction, again, on eBay, and that's a fine nib. So again, I didn't get the chance of selecting the nib. You could post a cap. It won't post that deeply or that securely, but you can. But this is a very, very beautiful pen. So I got it for an insane price, and really, really glad that I did bid on that auction. Somebody actually increased the bid by a huge amount, trying to outbid me. So I did, unfortunately, pay a lot more than I probably could have done. But sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. And I actually won the auction, but I lost by paying a lot more than probably I could have paid if somebody hadn't tried to outbid me. So there you have it. That's my 31 pens that I have bought or acquired this year. It's been a wild year, and I've added some really nice pens to my collection. I will have to think long and hard. Do I really want to buy or acquire another 30 odd pens next year? If I do, then I think I will be selling some of my pens, because I don't want to be hitting 400 pens, and I am already over 300, and I just have to be very mindful on how many I can really write with at any one time, and ink up and admire. And I am a user of pens. I do have to write with them, so I don't want them just sitting in a drawer, not being used or gathering dust. I want to be able to write with them, and I can write with all of them. It's just how much time I can devote to each pen, that the more pens that I acquire. So there you have it. That's my pens acquired in 2022 video. I'd like to wish you all a happy new year, and I hope that you're enjoying these videos and you will continue to enjoy them into 2023. And I also hope that you will have a very good new year and a 2023. So there you have it. That's my pens acquired in 2022 video. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye-bye.